Good morning, brothers and sisters, van lifers, bus lifers. Welcome to my shop, Jordan Motorsports, Jourdan. And I'm gonna be working on a Suzuki Intruder, a 1400 Suzuki Intruder this morning. I'm gonna be putting a battery in it, which is one of the most difficult batteries. I know, just a battery. It's one of the well, we're going to do a cold start. We're going to try to figure this, make sure this thing runs. But one of the most difficult batteries on almost any motorcycle to install. So I'm going to put you down over here, and we'll get that bike on the lift really quick. The hell is this? Okay, yeah, Suzuki Intruder 1400 battery replacement, and let's see how this goes. 1996 Suzuki VS1400 Intruder battery replacement. The worst, most difficult battery replacement, unless you have a lift and a flat jack and you jack the bike off the ground, and then you start with doing the positive cable and undo the positive cable from the battery, which I'd done earlier, and then do the negative cable. See if the camera loses me. Okay, got that negative cable. It's kind of giving me a hard time, actually. Looks like somebody's got a funky battery bolt in there or something. So might have to. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So then we're going to open up the door on the bottom, and that looks like a couple 10 millimeters. Okay, and get this other one on the other side. And open the door, and the battery's out on the floor. Oh yeah, it's not the right battery, and so that's why those cables aren't the way they're supposed to be. All right, so I have another battery, the correct battery, that actually only fits this bike, and I'm going to wash my hand. Okay, let's do this battery. So the easiest thing is to stack Well, let's try to just put it up in there and we'll use the lid, but a lot of times it's easier just to stack stuff underneath it. I'll give this a try first and see if I can't get the bolt through. Oh, I think I'm gonna get lucky. Unbelievable. That's pretty lucky, really. Okay. Making a hard job look easy. All right. And we'll get that negative hooked up first. Boy, this battery tender plugs connections are never easy to manage because you got to do everything at the same time. But gosh, did we get lucky again? Lucky again. Okay, negative cable and battery tender wire is on, and there's my battery tender cable. Okay, unbelievable. Uh-oh, we're not grabbing the nut. Let's see here. The nut is there. Oh, yeah. This is how it normally goes. See if I can grab the nut without the battery tender plug on there. There it is. Okay, now we'll put the battery tender plug, we'll loosen it back up a little. And there's no room for your hands in here. Okay. Let's see if we get lucky. Oh, yeah. Okay. Battery is in. Bike turns on. Let's hook a battery tender up to it. Okay, it lost me, but I'm back. Cameraman, sleep on the job. Okay. All right, got that plugged in. Let's see. Maybe I can make it over the air. I love that camera though, it's pretty cool. Alright, that's the Sony ZV E10 Mark II with the DJI 4 Mini with intelligent tracking. Okay, so has the sad face. It shouldn't have a sad face. Oh, maybe it's charging, but it has a sad face. Maybe it's charging, it has a sad face because it's so low. No, now it's happy. It doesn't have a sad face anymore. Okay. We'll let that charge. I had the spark plugs out. This bike came in with a no start, but dead battery was just because the bike had been sitting for so long. But it had a no start because actually turns out that the fuse, ignition fuse inside there came undone, and the terminal was damaged. So I repaired the terminal, and now we're putting a fresh battery in it, and we got to put a couple things back together here, and we should be able to spark her up. This rubber cover I think fits over this. Doesn't seem. Oh yeah, there it is. That's very nice. Okay. That's nice. Seems like we're missing a few connectors though. I'm just getting the wires all routed on this little plastic tray that fits underneath here. This is a nightmare. This was such bad engineering, honestly. Seems like we're missing a plug, but maybe there was nothing plugged in there to begin with. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Should be something holding those in. Yikes. I don't think it was those. I think those are for the side covers. Must have been. Huh. We'll figure that out here in a minute. We'll do a matter of elimination. Okay, so the choke. Seat. And this goes on the other side. Might as well do this one really quick. That's for the seat. That's a side cover for right there, but we're gonna wait on that. That's an old battery deal. Okay, I think we'll just about ready to cold start this thing. See if we're right. See if we diagnosed it correctly. get these bolts tight. What do they call that? AMSR if I just shut up. Okay. Okay, that's tight. All right. Let's, okay, I thought I'd bring you back in. I've done some diagnostics. The fuel tank is not allowing any fuel out of the upper fuel valve in the tank. The fuel pump is not turning on, although when I apply power to it, it definitely runs. The fuel is super bad. There's probably no chance that the pilot jets aren't plugged in both carburetors, which on this bike is just an absolute nightmare. But I do have a bottle on it. I do have the fuel pump pumped up both carburetors. So I figured I'd bring you in, update you, and we'll give it a cold start and see what happens here. I'm going to plug the fuel pump back in because I have a feeling the reason the fuel pump's not running is because the engine hasn't started. And if the engine doesn't start, the ECU is not going to tell the fuel pump to turn on. And then some of these old bikes are finicky that way. Okay, I cheated. And I just carefully lifted the carburetor up out of there since I'm not going to rebuild it. And I just went after that pilot jet. The pilot jet did seem partially plugged, but after I blew good air on it, I got it without any trouble. So that tells me that actually should have been able to clear itself. So I'm going to go after that other one and make sure that pilot jet's clear. And then we're going to go from there. Okay, this carburetor was a little worse. The float bowl was full of sediment. So I rinsed it out, but I got to do some scraping on there. See if I can't get that cleaned up. I have a feeling that this pilot jet, possibly the main jet, is plugged on this one. This is really quite unbelievable. That pilot jet just stripped, the head just stripped right off it with no trouble, and you can tell that thing is in bad shape. So yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, I drilled a hole in the middle of the pilot jet and I put a extractor into there. It felt like it bit into something. We'll see if we'll see if it comes out. It's a freaking miracle. I got the jet out. Oh my gosh. That is so dang lucky. Okay. I got that pilot jet in there. Got the carburetor back in there. Got that carburetor back in there. And I'll connect this battery up real quick to the fuel pump, prime it all, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I got that pump primed. 2 clear pilot jets. We got spark, chokes on, fresh battery, clutch rubber band so I don't have to deal with that. On the bottle, in the on switch. Oh, heck yes. Sounds like one. Front one's starting to feel a little warm. one feels ice cold. Let me check the fuel in the float ball on the rear. Well, let's see. I don't understand why the front one wouldn't be, or the rear one wouldn't be running. So the needle was stuck. It was glued to the emulsion tube. And so I went and pulled this out, and look at this. I've never seen anything like it. It's like the filter, the air filter possibly, is breaking down, and it's getting sucked into the vacuum side of the carburetor for the, the constant velocity side of the, interesting. Okay, I pulled the emulsion tube out, cleaned it. And it was dirty inside there, so I'll put that back in. And it should run on the rear cylinder. I don't know why it wasn't idling though. Very interesting. Okay, air compressor's on. So I got the emulsion tube cleaned out, got the diaphragm back in there, needle moves up and down now. Blew everything out again, re-pumped up the fuel pump. So both carbs are full, and kind of hoping she idles on 2 cylinders, or at least revs on 2 cylinders. she does. I wonder if somebody changed the idle. Let's idle her up a little bit. Oh, good luck with that. Okay, that's a choke off. Okay, so this valve down here is leaking and it's not flowing any fuel in the on or off position. I just cut it off of the fuel lines, they were rotten. So I'm going to try to prop this thing up and take that thing out of there and see what we're up against. Because without this, we ain't got nothing. At first glance, I'm like, I took all these valves out and everything looks pretty good. These seemed clear back to here, and then I realized, oh shoot, it's not glowing out the front. So there, I started putting high pressure to it, and before I blew it out, I wanted to show you. Oh my gosh, I think this one's the same way. Well, I know it is. It's just solid goop in there. Okay, she is running on her own. She is running on her own. The rear carb was puking out the overflow, the stuck needle. Everything's gone wrong, could go wrong. So I need 2 fuel lines because these fuel lines are rotten. They have special curves in them, and so I've got 2 big long ones, but it's going to be kind of tough to put the, and I'm afraid they're going to come off. They don't fit right. I need 5/16, but 4 feet of 5/16 hose, and I think we got this. Another 45 minutes. I didn't realize the valve was off, on, off. I thought it was off, on. So I had it off, of course.